Drivers paying close attention to the starter. Hear those pipes, those stutter buttons, warming up the pipes, making sure they got maximum power right at the beginning of this race. And they are green. Let's watch them as they charge hard into that corner. Squaring around, a couple of Arctic Cats up front as they work through the back part of the racetrack. Looks like everybody has made their way through the back part. The early race leader, that's the 341. That is a sled of Bailey Forrest. Second place will be Riley Bester, Taylor Cole, Carson Allred in fourth. Then it's Wolf, Melcine, and Olson in seventh, with Steve Walter in eighth. Oh, a little bumping and banging going on down there. There's your race leader, Bailey Forrest. Bailey qualifying third out of Thief River Falls, Minnesota. Racing for Arctic Cat, Fly Racing, Rocky Mountain High. Goes over that Amsoil flyaway and takes it back down into the corner. Bester still in second, about a second and a half out of the lead. Cole about another second and a half behind him. And then it is Allred sitting in fourth place. Battle starting to heat up now. And that is Bester. Bester has worked his way around your race leader. So Riley Bester, who has been having a phenomenal season here in Sport Light and some of the junior classes, has worked his way out front and now already takes about a second and a half lead. Bester from Prior Lake, Minnesota, as he leads the rest of the field around. Oh, somebody right on the edge of the racetrack. Was that Bester? It was, and he held on to it. And right behind him, Forrest almost came off his sled. There's Allred, comes across in third, Cole in fourth, Jordan Wolf in fifth, and Joachim Olson in sixth. Field continues around this. It's a challenging racetrack. Boy, again, Forrest having a problem negotiating that ram corner and the transition. There you see Bester way out in front. Now almost a 3-second lead. Forrest, he's got about 4 seconds on Carson Allred. Then Taylor Cole in fourth. Again, oh, and a little contact in the corner. Driver coming off the racetrack. Brendan Goyne got muscled off. He'll try to get his sled squared away and back on the racetrack here. Hard to do that now safely. Everybody's so spread out. Watch the drivers as they go through that corner. We go back to the front of the race, and that is your leader, Riley Bester. Bester going through turns 4. That's the Polaris corner. Just about a 5-second lead. Boy, Bester back there, just lapping traffic, just cutting and dicing, slicing. Halfway, cross flags, 5 laps through. Well, I take that back. 2 laps left to go. 2 laps left to go. Iceman was busy holding the blue flag. So it looked like cross flags, but 2 to go. 2 to go here. Bester still out in front. Barring any mistakes, this should be another win for him. Comes through 3 and 4. That Polaris turn across the Amsoil flyaway. 1 lap to go for your race leader. 4 is still in second. Carson Allred in third. And then Taylor Cole in fourth. Cole's got 1 lap left. He's about 0.7 of a second off a podium finish. We'll see if he can make up any ground. Here comes Bester. Last time through 3 and 4. Checkered flags are out. Bester will take the win. Boy, look at the battle here. Force comes across in second. Allred in third. Then it's Cole in fifth. Joachim Olsen in the fifth. Malsine will finish sixth. Jordan Wolf. Brinkman having a problem. He's falling back to 8th place. Then Walters, Lind, Uford, Wilbert, Bacra, Tibbetts, and Brendan Goyne. That's the way they finish here. So congratulations again to Riley Bester. We're going to be going down to winner's circle and meeting our top 3 here in just a couple of moments, as soon as the drivers get an opportunity to take their helmets off and head down to the Hollywood Casino Snowcross National winner's circle. Introduce the top 3 here in the Sport Light final. Third place out of Gaylord, Michigan, racing for Artie Cat, Diesel Freaks, Mega Power Sports, and N12 Designs. On the 631 Artie Cat, Carson Allred.
You know that life is like a ticking clock. Nobody knows when it's gonna stop, yeah. Before I'm gonna need to
In second place on an Artie Cat out of Thief River Falls, Minnesota. Racing for Artie Cat, Fly Racing, Rocky Mountain High, and Dean's Diesel Repair. On the 341 Artie Cat, that's Bailey Forrest. Looks like Chelsea's got a helper down there. And your winner from Prior Lake, Minnesota for Fratellone Company's FXR, Artie Cat, Speedworks, and Stud Boy. On the 151 Artie Cat, Riley Bester. All right, let's head down to the winner's circle and Chelsea Scorch.
Thank you, Mikey. I'm down here with our top 3 in Sport Light. In the third spot, Carson Allred. Now, Carson, you're one of the youngest riders in this class. How do you, I guess, live up to the competition, up to the age?
Well, I really don't think about that. I just base on how I ride and stuff, and I'm not too worried about it.
And who do you want to thank today for your third spot?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, Artcat, Mike Coletti, Ross, Diesel Freak, R12 Designs, Firehouse Subs, Stud Boy, and I think that's about it.
Well, congratulations, great race. Bailey, up on the podium here in the second spot. Talk about your race team. Talk about getting up here tonight.
It's just great being on the race team. They help me out so much.
And who do you want to thank?
Slaughterhouse Racing, JT Construction, Articat, Mike Buddy and all the guys back at the shop, Rocky Mountain High, Fly, Fox Shocks, Stub Boy, 999 Optics, and my mom and dad.
Well, congratulations, great race. And your winner today, Riley Bester. Now, you didn't get the whole shot. Bailey was out in front of you for a couple laps. Tell us about getting that lead back.
I don't know. I just gave it and tried to figure out different lines. And, yeah, the track is really sketchy today.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
And who do you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, my sister, FXR, Articat, Mike Coletti, Russ Ebert, Speedworks, Stud Boy, Fox Shocks, Rocks, and everyone. Oh, Bruce from Beeline especially for getting my shocks dialed in on this tough track.
Well, congratulations. Great race today, Riley. I'm going to send it back up to you, Mikey, in the booth.
Thank you, Chelsea. Congratulations, guys. Nice win. Good run for those drivers. And they will be competing, a lot of them, in classes again tomorrow. So busy weekend for these drivers. Well, what a pretty sight. Nice and colorful down there.
Down to this, you see the 9 sleds lined up on the starting line. They're going to be looking to their right. It's in the starter's hands. When he tells them it's green, they all go. And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go, and Peter Narsa with the stud boy hole shot.
Well, you've seen as there were a couple of drivers, Ross Martin making a little contact with one of the drivers. You talked about transitioning onto the racetrack. That's where the difficulty ends. Look at Narsa. Narsa out front early on.
Flames in the sky for Peter Narsa on the 54. And where's Tucker Hibbert? Right now he's scored in 7th out of 8 sleds, all the way back in the back. Got pinched at the start. Up front, meanwhile, Peter Narsa and Corin Todd trying to want to run away and hide.
Ross Martin had a relatively good weekend. Speaking because of the injury that he had last weekend, he's sitting right now in 3rd, and leaders Renheim, and like you said, Hibbert sitting in the back trying to work his way through the grid.
Martin got 2nd for a second, and underneath them both
that is Renheim.
Goes Renheim, and he'll take 2nd as the battle was happening between Todd and Martin. They both go off the track right there in front of you. That's Ross Martin on the 837. Right beside him, that's Corin Todd. They were battling for 2nd and took each other out.
Well, I tell you, you've got to give each other a little racing room here, and that's not a good spot. They'll try to take and get that squared away.
Let's
Watch
take a look
here.
At the replay here.
So they're just rubbing on each other.
Yeah.
Ross had no place to go. He actually hits the pylon. Thank God for the foam that's around that.
Something got hooked up, whether they were hooked in the skis or something of that nature. They couldn't get apart from each other. Led right to running into the end pole right there.
You got to remember that these sleds are very open underneath, and if you get a ski in there, it is very hard to get them apart. Meanwhile, Peter Narsa, he enjoying a little bit of a lead, but Adam Renheim not giving him any space at all.
Look at this battle. The Jimmy John sleds looks underneath Peter Narsa as they hit the AMSOIL finish line with 8 laps to go. It's Narsa, it's Renheim, and here comes Tucker Hibbert in 3rd. Andy Leaders in 4th, and Andrew Carlson in 5th. The battle for the lead right now continues between Narsa on the 54 and Renheim on the 311.
Those guys working through the back part of the racetrack. Last time they had about a little over 3 seconds on Tucker Hibbert. It'll be interesting to see what Tucker does now that he's got some open sailing. Yellow still flying in that part of the racetrack. It's still Narsa, Renheim, and now Tucker shaving off over a second off that lead.
Tucker now in a spot where he's got nobody right immediately in front of him. All he's got to do is reel in 2nd and then 1st. It's still Narsa. This rhythm section is gnarly, Mike, and it almost took Narsa out right there. And here comes Adam Renheim.
Yeah, Narsa had it going sideways. Look at Narsa trying to work underneath. Not quite close enough. Renheim trying to get a ski underneath, wasn't able to do so, but he's close enough now where he can try to do that in the next corner.
6 laps to go as they hit that AMSOIL finish line, and here comes the T-Train. Again, Renheim looks to the inside. They'll drag race down towards that Air Force flyaway and into the gnarly rhythm section. Here comes Renheim again.
And this time he didn't have a very good section in the back part of the racetrack, but I don't know if you've seen Tucker going into the far end into turns 1 and 2. He went way deep, had a real problem turning that sled. Not sure if he's got a little bit of a handling issue or what, but not very smooth for Tucker Hibbert last lap.
What we're seeing out of Tucker Hibbert right now is one of those races where he doesn't want to push himself too hard. He's sitting in 3rd. He'd love to get a couple of more spots, don't get me wrong, but he's not going to put himself in danger. You see Tucker Hibbert right there, the 9-time champion, right now sitting in 3rd, trying to reel in Adam Renheim in 2nd.
He found that last week. He didn't qualify the best, but was able to take and make the win. A sweep in Michigan. He's 102 points ahead of this field. He's just got to be real consistent.
Tucker Hibbert right there again looks to the inside of the 311. Once again, that's the battle for 2nd out of the FXR turn. Now over the Air Force flyaway and through that rhythm section. Tucker to the inside. He'll double. He gets that spot from Renheim. Renheim will look to try to look underneath him here. Can he get him?
He tried to, but Tucker just carried too much speed around the corner. Renheim not able to get around him, and now Tucker Hibbert about 3 seconds behind your race leader. Peter Narsa on the Hensch's Pertec Polaris, that 54 machine, and look at Tucker charging.
And Peter Narsa could really use this win. There's no doubt about it. Not only a heat race win, but a heat race win in front of Tucker Hibbert. It's been a rough year for the young man. He's got he's got a little more than 2 laps to go. As of right now, the 2 laps to go signal is out for Peter Narsa. Had some injuries early in the year when he was very fast. A win here with Tucker Hibbert in this race would be a huge confidence builder.
Tucker shaved off about 0.8 of a second. Now it's about 2.3 seconds. Narsa out in front. Hibbert still in 2nd. Renheim in 3rd. Then it's leaders Carlson, Pauline, Corin Todd, Ross Martin out.
Very smooth section for Peter Narsa. Heads towards the AMSOIL finish line. White flag is in the air. 1 more lap for Peter Narsa. Can he do the impossible? Can he hold off Tucker Hibbert for 1 more lap? He's got to be fast and he's got to to be smooth through this rhythm section, Mike.
Hibbert shaved off another 0.8 of a second. It's about 1.5 seconds now, the difference between Narsa and Hibbert. Peter's just got to be smooth here. Just find your spots. You hear the drivers talk about that. Hibbert's going to have to push as hard as he can.
Here comes Narsa. The checker's in the air, and he will do it. Peter Narsa will win this Pro Open qualifier in Chicago over Tucker Hibbert. Adam Renheim will hang on for third, and Andy Leaders in fourth. We'll go to break and come right back and talk to your winner. Peter Narsa takes Pro Open qualifier number 1. This is Route 66 Raceway in Chicago, Illinois. AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go, and Peter Narsa with the stud boy hold shot. At this battle, the Jimmy John Sleds looks underneath Peter Narsa as they hit the AMSOIL finish line with 8 laps to go. Can he do the impossible? Can he hold off Tucker Hibbert for one more lap? He's got to be fast and he's got to be smooth through this rhythm section, Mike. Here comes Narsa. The checker's in the air, and he will do it. Peter Narsa will win this Pro Open qualifier in Chicago.
Congratulations, Peter, picking right where you left off in Michigan. What does it mean to start the weekend with a win?
You know, it feels good. We know for sure my riding was good, but we know that the sled was good too. The guys been working hard, and it feels good just to start off good.
You said you were surprised at how smooth it is out there. I think you expected it to be a little more rough tonight.
Yeah, their practice there was very rough, and they did a great job to smoothen the track, and it was fun, a lot of fun.
Good luck in the final tonight.
Thank you.
Guys.
So Peter Narsa has let everybody know that it can be done in Chicago. Pro Open qualifier in the books. Up next, the Pro Light Final of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram from Route 66 Raceway in Chicago on the CBS Sports Network. So that's one qualifier in the books. We got another Pro Open qualifier coming up here, the first round doing so, and another star-studded field, Mike.
3 of the top 5 were in that first heat here in round 1, heat 2. The other 2 individuals, Tim Tremblay, your second place, and his teammate, Lincoln Lemieux, currently in 4th place. The rest of the field, it's going to be Corey Watkinson, Stenberg, Pichet, Springer, Lemieux, and here they go.
We've got a couple of sleds off in the first turn. Mike, Lincoln Lemieux gets that stud boy hole shot and gets out, but I believe, boy, I'm not even going to call it. I saw 2, maybe 3 sleds go down in the first turn. We'll get you all the information on that. The flames in the sky, though, for Lincoln Lemieux and John Stenberg, and Corey Watkinson right now looking very fast as well. John Stenberg, the 259, is your leader.
Yeah, Pichet and Springer getting together down in the corner. They haven't even made it back onto the racetrack. One of them has now. Tough deal. Pichet, of course, racing for Christian Brothers.
Man, that rhythm section's going to be fun. Here comes Lincoln Lemieux to the outside. He'll take the lead right there, Mike.
Lemieux has been solid the last few weeks. I talked to him. He says he's feeling more and more confident each and every week. A nice pass for him. Lincoln Lemieux out front. Then it's Stenberg, Tremblay in third, and Tremblay's moving up.
Look at Stenberg coming to the inside. Now Stenberg getting a little tricky on me, changes the colors on his sled. I like the new look. Let's see how fast it is as he tries the inside on Lincoln Lemieux down the backstretch here.
Boy, look at Lemieux.
I'm telling you, it's wicked.
He just about caught a tank slapper there and just about got bucked off that number 13 Skidoo. Look at the number 259. That is Stenberg charging hard, trying to find a line down underneath.
8.5 laps to go on this paperclip in Chicago, Illinois. A paperclip with a whole lot of folds. Lincoln Lemieux on the back stretch through the rhythm section. You see him looking to the outside of Ryan Springer right there, who was involved in the accident in the very first turn. Right behind him is Stenberg, Tremblay in third, Watkinson fourth, and Zach Patton in fifth.
Lemieux still out in front. About a second and a half almost lead, but that can go away in a very short period of time. One thing Lincoln's got going for him right now, he's got a lapper in between him and John Stenberg. Stenberg will have to get around Springer if he wants to make any kind of move, and Tremblay's on the move too. He's only about 0.8 of a second behind the Norwegian driver John Stenberg out of Warner Racing.
Over the AMSOIL finish line on the AMSOIL sled, the 13 of Lincoln Lemieux. Young man who tried the entire season last year, hurt himself at Shakopee, tore his ACL. Now we've got a backup between Tremblay right there and Stenberg down in the far turn. As Tremblay tried to make the move on the inside, they got hooked up for a second there. Let's go down to Carly Applin. She's beside the racetrack, got a better view. Carly.
Lincoln Lemieux, holding first place, said this is a very technical track. He said each part of this track is technical. Part of that is because both sides are a rhythm section as they come down this stretch behind me. This is where we've seen them kind of come off balance in the air, and that's part of because of the wet snow tonight. They're losing traction. They're going to need to keep their balance up in the air, otherwise they come off, crash in these rhythm sections. They're also very hold out tonight. Hopefully that will be better in the final.
What a textbook move for Tim Tremblay into second spot underneath John Stenberg right there. You couldn't have pulled that any cleaner or any faster or any better than Tim Tremblay just did.
He sure did. He slid right underneath there. And you watch, of course, Lemieux right now. Stenberg, he almost had an off on the back part of the racetrack.
Man.
As the rest of these drivers work their way around, your race leader coming back through that ram turn, his teammate right behind him. And, well, I'll tell you what. Tremblay has found another gear. He is really making some good lap times around this racetrack.
Lincoln Lemieux, Tim Tremblay, John Stenberg, your top three with Watkinson, and Jake Scott now has moved into the top 5. 3.5 laps to go for that young man right there, once again out of Vermont. Lincoln Lemieux, a very strong season as the season goes on. He just keeps getting faster.
He does, and you know, we're kind of seeing a repeat of what we seen last week at Michigan. We're seeing Lemieux out front, and then we're seeing Tremblay right behind him. Right. These two guys have been very, very consistent over the past few weeks.
And again, the 2:59 right there's third place. That's John Stenberg. Now behind him there, Ryan Springer. He's a lapper. Actually, the sled, again, who had an off right at the very beginning of the race, but still having a good race for him, trying to keep up, learn some lines a little bit later on for the second heat and maybe the LCQ, and hopefully for him the final.
Yeah, Springer sitting in 7th place right now. Matt Pickner, or rather Matt Pichet, who was the other racer involved there, currently sitting in 8th. But, well, I'll tell you what, Lemieux, he's about 4+ seconds ahead of his teammate, just making some incredible lap times around this, you know, very demanding racetrack.
I spent about 20 minutes on the phone with Lincoln Lemieux this morning. One of the things he prides himself on is his physical shape. He feels like he is in spectacular physical shape, and that really helps, and especially late in these races. And it's going to be something later in the year, as he figures is going to really help him when everybody else is a little more beat up than he is. He's a young guy. He's in great shape, and right now he is putting the laps down. A 3.5, almost 4-second lead over Tim Tremblay out here on the white flag lap.
Through the back part of the racetrack. Checkers will come out. Lemieux, here he comes.
Over the Amsoil finish line, the Amsoil sled takes the win. Lincoln Lemieux, Tim Tremblay will come across in second, and John Stenberg will hang on for third. Well, we had an off down here. I believe that might have been Springer right in front of us. But here comes Corey Watkinson, your 4th place sled. He'll hit the Amsoil finish line. He will finish 4th. Here comes Jake Scott on the 42. So there you go. He finds a way to the starting line. Those motocross racers are tough, Mike.
Yes, they are.
It's the Pro Light second round of heats, and it's in the starters' hands. And they're racing in Chicago.
Good hole shot for Ty Fair. Look at him work the inside. Tries to bend it around.
It worked.
He's going to be your early race leader.
He'll take that stud boy hole shot through that nasty rhythm section. My, oh my, when we get 15 sleds in that section later on. We got a new
on
leader.
The outside, though. Benham found a line, was able to work around the outside. So now it's Benham, Ty Fair, Montana just sitting in 3rd. Then it's Muller, George, Sewell is on the racetrack. In 6th, Nastalia and Jacob Blanchard.
Down at the far end of the racetrack, Ty Fair looks to the inside. They'll drag race towards the Air Force flyaway.
Boy, he was looking to get close enough to lean on him a little.
Hang on.
Oh.
He can't do it.
You know, one went one way, one went the other, and I was waiting for them both to fall off.
And the other one went off the track.
Benham
so we've got a brand new leader, Montana Jess, to the lead.
He's going exactly, this is exactly what I needed. Let me get back up front. I need to be consistent. Watch him now. One's off camber left, one's off camber right. Benham gathered it back up. Ty Fair off, but then, like you said, Benham off racetrack, just a short distance from there.
I think Benham may have taken a bite out of his handlebar there as well, so we'll keep an eye on him, but he's back on the track. We'll set the field now. Jess, Benham, Travis Muller, Michael George in 4th, Brett Nastala in 5th, Shane Sewell 6th, Max Ty Fair back on his sled, and Jacob Blanch in 7th and 8th right now. Your points leaders out front, Mike, every week, consistency. The points leader is always where he needs to be, and that's why he's your points leader right now.
racing is about being consistent, and when you're in a points battle like Montana Jess is, it is so important that you be on top of your game and that you have a little luck. That's exactly what Montana Jess ran into here. Looking strong now through the back part of the racetrack, but we've seen that part jump up and bite more than one person today, keeping his fingers crossed every time he goes through the back part of the racetrack.
All the way from Westminster, Massachusetts for Team Arctic Cat and Central Mass Motorsports is your Pro Light points leader and your current Pro Light heat leader, Montana Jess.
Jess goes through the back. Watch here, because you're going to see that black and yellow Skidoo. Tyfair had a move down in the bottom part of the racetrack here and got around another driver. He is charging hard, trying to make his way back up front.
Big air. A couple of triples right there. The Pro Lights just make that triple, Mike. They've got to be on the gas in the right spot to get those three out of the way.
Little short on power. You talk about Pro Open with the more power. Same, 600cc motor, except that it's got some modifications made to it, and it's amazing how those modifications give them the power and the torque that they need to really thrust themselves across those triples.
Headed for the AMSOIL finish line. 4 laps to go for the 765 of Montana Jess. See, that time he didn't even try the triples.
No, you know where you're at. You know what you got to do. You're sitting on about a 3.5 second lead over Daniel Benham. Michael George in third, and then Nastalia Tyfair still in fifth. You know, it's a sense of being a racer, knowing what's around you, what distance you have between you and your competitors, and what kind of risk or what kind of gamble you're willing to take to, stay out in front. Right now, he feels a little more conservative. He's going to be all right. That's what he's doing.
That time he took the triples a big. What a great camera shot that was right there from our ISOC crew. Not only was he big air, but he was squirreling in the air as well. It took my breath away, and I wasn't even on the sled.
From our perception here on the monitors, one thing, if we look live down the racetrack, we see them when they go across some of these jumps. And I mean, you're seeing sleds all over the place. Right now, you're seeing Montana Jess up front. It is now a little over 2 seconds, or only a second lead. Tyfair off again.
Not a nice heat for Max Tyfair. I believe he wants to start this one all over. Off the sled in the same section again. What a great racer that young man is right there, too. So that just tells you the degree of difficulty of that racetrack right now. And he's just letting her sit there for a second, gathering himself up as Montana Jess gathers another lap. Out of the ram turn, he'll head down the front stretch over the AMSOIL finish line. The white flag in the air. One more lap for Montana Jess here in Heat 1, Round 2 of the Pro Light division.
That was 1.8 seconds. He put another half second between he and Daniel Benham. That's what we talked about, picking up the pace, running a little bit harder when you think that you need to stay ahead and comfortably be ahead to win the race. Doing a good job.
You see Tyfair still there. Half a lap to go for Montana Jess. Back on the gas he goes. Into the ram turn. And here at the Hollywood Casino Snowcross National, presented by Hayes Performance Systems, that official Pro Light heat race goes to Montana Jess. Big win for your points leader. Daniel Benham will go second. Michael George will run third. Brett Nastella fourth. And Shane Sewell made it to the starting line and made it to fifth, Mike.
It's good to see him back on the racetrack. Apparently the injury not as severe as what we had heard earlier. So good to see Shane back out there. Muller will finish sixth, Benham in seventh, and then Tyfair will come across in eighth place.
And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go. Oh, man, they are battling.
Coutu and Angove are on the outside, but there's Anderson.
I think.
And then you see there's Angove.
Yeah.
Angove just really launched out in front.
So there goes the 177. Corbin Anderson got the stud boy all shot, but the lead goes to Jake Angove.
Corbin Anderson sitting dead stick in the back part of the racetrack. Not a good place to be.
So it's Angove, Ishuel, and Adams, 1, 2, 3, and look to the inside again. Elias Ishuel as they head down the backstretch. Here they go.
All right.
We've seen this battle before, Mike.
Yellows are out now. They can't pass, and they got to stay on the ground through that part of the racetrack.
Elias
Elias
Ishuel
is going to go after him.
in second on now a black colored sled. We're used to seeing that sled all decorated in that light blue, that turquoise.
The Makita green.
Yes, and now a completely different look, but the same Elias Ishoel, the rocket right on the tail of Jake Angove as they head through the Air Force flyaway.
Talked to his mom. They were sitting in the trailer. I asked her, I said, how do you usually watch the races? And she put her hands over her eyes. But here to cheer him on. And I wasn't aware she's been here all year long. So interesting that she is here with him, but Elias working the outside.
He sure is. Elias Ishoel to the outside. Angove to the inside with Tyler Adams on the backside, waiting to make somebody make a mistake.
There, he got him right there.
Elias got him, but here comes Angove to the inside. It's a drag race down the backstretch. Angove gets it right back. Elias a little squirrely. Into the turn they go. And Angove will hold on for another lap across the AMSOIL finish line.
Racing. Watch them when they go into turn 3 here, too. There's 2 lines. They've built a little kicker, so if you're on the inside, you can jump. And, boy, I wonder if something didn't happen to Wallenstein's sled. He's looking like there may be a drivetrain issue.
Ishoel gets the lead away from Angove as they make their way out of the turn. Can Angove make the charge back and try to take back the lead? He's not going to do it there, Mike.
Nope, he's going to have to take and motor hard around the outside here and try to work up on the inside and try to get around Elias. Elias now is to the point where he's going to put some distance between he and Jake, about 1.3 seconds. Once he lost it, and he almost lost what you would call the drafter, keeping up with Elias. Elias just really ranges out.
Elias Ishoel, the 17-year-old from Norway, is in the front. Once again, we call him the Rocket because he is just playing fast everywhere we go. Into the ram turn, it's Ishoel, Angove, and Adams, 1, 2, 3.
4 laps left to go. Now looking at about a 2.5 second differential between he and Angove.
Into the far turn, out of the FXR turn, he'll head towards that Air Force flyaway again. A little bit of a check up there to see how he deals with this rhythm section. A very smooth line. Ooh. Until right there.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, he just cased. Oh, and Angove is off on the back part of the racetrack.
Right behind him, the second place rider completely off his sled, trying to get her flipped back over. What happened, Mike?
It was almost the same place that Elias offloaded. Look at Jake, he just cases it right here. Boom, sideways, and he's off.
That is a monster section of this racetrack. So much fun for us to watch in the commentary booth, but not so much fun on those sleds.
You've watched these guys go to the outside. They've liked that outside line, but that line getting very, very chewed up. Here's your race leader again. Watch him. He continues, and then he goes back down inside on the front part of the racetrack. But watch him when he goes here. He'll go through 1 and 2, and he'll go back to the outside. He likes that line.
So now it's Ishoel, Katu, and Glashagle, 1, 2, 3. Jake Angove still in 4th right now, even with the crash, and Steven Turchanik in 5th. Less than 2 laps to go, though, for that young man, the number 200 sled of Elias Ishoel.
Look at him way to the outside, right along the edge of the racetrack, and that's where he just about lost it a lap ago and where Angove lost it.
White flag in the air for the Rocket, Elias Ishoel. Big air through that triple section. Very cautiously into the FXR turn at the far end of the racetrack. Takes a look over his shoulder. Here he comes through the Air Force flyaway. It's still Ishoel, Katu, and Glashagle, 1, 2, 3. Into the final turn for the final time. The AMSOIL finish line awaits. The checkers in the air. The Rocket has done it again. Elias Ishoel takes heat 2, round 2 of the Pro Light Division here in Chicago.
Cole Katu comes across in 2nd. Glashagle will probably end up in 3rd. That's a tough break, though, for Jake Angove. Angove running extremely well. Angove's going to come across, and he will take 3rd place as Glashagle falls down a spot. So Elias Ishoel, Katu, Angove, some tough racing out there and some pretty nasty offs.
Systems.
LCQ time coming up. Pro-Am Women LCQ. Britannia Robinson, Tasha Lang, Megan Campbell, Sasha Brandt out there, Ashley Erickson, Sierra Beckerling, rather.
Yep.
Cora Hauer, and then Alexis Lind. And your last driver is Caitlin Kresge.
So we've got 9 sleds and 5 will make it to the final. A deep field of Pro-Am women here in Chicago this weekend. Good to see.
It is very good to see that we've got a field of 19 ladies racing.
And they are racing into turn 1 they go. The 214 is Tasha Lang, and she got that stud boy hole shot. Again, all you got to do is run top 5. You make that final. 6 on back goes home for the night.
Top 5 can be a challenge, though.
It certainly can, and it's a challenge not to race for the win in every single race, no matter where you're sitting. We'll set the field for you as they hit that AMSOIL finish line.
I believe that's Tasha Lang out in front early on. Robinson in second, then Erickson. Cora Hauger will be in 4th, and Sasha Brandt is sitting there in 5th.
That means Megan Campbell is on the outside looking in. We've got just 4 laps, 3.5 laps to go now in this last chance qualifier as the Pro-Am women hit that FXR turn down there. And now they head for the Air Force flyaway.
We'll see who pushes it hard in the back part of the racetrack here to try to move up a position.
You see that battle back there? Now that is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. As we sit here right now, all of those racers are in the final. There's one on the outside looking in. That continues to be Megan Campbell. Let's set the field again for him right now, Mike. Tasha Lang, Cora Hauger, Ashley Erickson in 3rd, Brittany Robinson 4th, Sasha Brandt in 5th. Megan Campbell continues to be in 6th on the outside looking in, and that's the battle we're looking at right there.
And Campbell is about a 2.5 seconds out of a transfer position. She was doing well in the 2nd round of qualifying and had a nasty off here in turns 3 and 4. That cost her moving into the final, making her have to go through the LCQ.
There's your battle for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Or no, I should say that's the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th, because right there's the 222. That's Robinson and Brandt, and Campbell again. The 107 is Sasha Brandt. Campbell's the 563, made her way underneath and made it into the transfer spot. As they now make their way over the AMSOIL finish line, here's how the top 5 sit. Lang, Hauger, Erickson, Campbell, Robinson, and now Sasha Brandt is the lady on the outside looking in.
Yeah, Megan Campbell, very driven, works her way around very patiently, finds a position and a place to take and move, and moves up into 4th place.
The battle continues here in the last chance qualifier with a lap and a half to go. They're still battling back there. Your leader into the ram turn, Tasha Lang. White flags await. 1 lap left for Tasha Lang. Cora Hauger, then Ashley Erickson, Megan Campbell, Brittany Robinson, and Sasha Brandt still right there trying to find her way into the field.
Tasha knows that she's got about 2 seconds plus on the field. She has backed it off just a bit, feeling comfortable out front as she turns. And this is that battle between
Sasha got around her.
Yeah.
So that's the drag race down the backstretch for the final transfer spot right there.
There's your race leader, 214, Lang.
Oh, this is going to be right down to the checkered flag at the AMSOIL finish line for the 5th spot. Here we go. Tasha Lang takes the win in the LCQ. Here comes Cora Hauger, Ashley Erickson, Megan Campbell, and
Sasha Brandt got around her.
Sasha Brandt got the 5th and final transfer spot. Brittany Robinson, Alexa Lind, Caitlin Kresge, and Sierra Beckerling will round out the field. But Lang, Hauger, Erickson, Campbell, and Brandt will be your top 5, and they'll be back in a few for that Pro-Am Women Final.
That final coming up in about an hour at 8:05. So those ladies, great racing, and it's going to be fun to see a full field. 2 rows, 10 in the front, 5 in the back on the Pro-Am Women's Final. That coming up here after a bit.
Let's go to break. We'll come right back. Up next, we got some special mountain bike racing. What? To find out, stick around. It's round 13 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram, the Hollywood Casino Snowcross National, presented by Hayes Performance Systems here at Route 66 Raceway in Chicago, Illinois.
One qualifier, Jake Eastman out of Cadillac, Michigan on a Polaris. Jacob Urich, the 727 sled, qualifies number 2. Another driver out of Grand Blanc, Michigan. Then Leo Patnode on the 200 Skidoo qualifies third. Eddie Neubauer fourth. Evan Dowd out of Minnesota, Longville, Minnesota, the number 5 qualifier. Dirk Roper qualifies sixth, the 993 Polaris. The rest of the front row finds Adam Peterson, Jay Laura, Mitchell Thielen, and Hunter Patnode. Now, here's what's interesting. Let's go to the back row. Your number 1 qualifier, Nicholas Lorenz. Lorenz has been on a tear these last few rounds of racing. He in round 1 involved in an incident and then was disqualified for not having a side panel on the clutch side of his sled. Came back, had to come through the LCQ, won that, ends up being the number 11 qualifier. Then you got Jason, Trent Whitworth, Cameron Anderson, and Patrick Hamilton. That is the grid for this 10-lap FXR Sport 1 final.
Yeah, thumbs up. Let's do this, huh? Love to see the excitement. And you're going to see excitement because 15 sleds into that turn, Mike.
They will charge hard down into the corner. Now you've got 15 sleds. You see him talking. He's ready to go. You know, they've talked about what they want to do, what kind of lines they have, where they're lined up, where they've qualified. Your number 1 qualifier, the 139, trying to see where he's lined up. That's Thielen, 239 on the outside. 413 is Evan Dowd. There's Eddie Neubauer. I wonder if he didn't go way inside. Patnode's out there. Well, we're just about ready to go green. 10 laps, FXR Sport 1 final.
That's right. You see those red lights at the top there? That means somebody's breaking the beam. We're not ready to go green yet. We're getting them set up. When those red lights go off, that means everybody's behind the invisible beam. Nobody breaks it. We go green. We go racing. Okay, the lights are off.
Tonight we high class.
See him looking to the right.
There is Giesman way on the inside. Starter said fire him up. Let's get ready to go. They are doing just that. They will watch the starter. The starter will point his way across to make sure that they are all paying attention. And we will go green. 10 laps. FXR Sport Final. Green we go.
Into the turn they go. 15 sleds down the backstretch. They go in the air every which way, and everybody makes it through clean.
Boy, somebody went big right from the start. We'll set up the order as they come by. That was your number 1 qualifier, Giesman. Goes big. He's your leader. Then it's Dowd, Mitchell Thielen, Urich in 4th, Neubauer. Look at Lorenz from the back row, already up in 6th place.
There is your leader. The 139 is Jake Giesman. You see him trying to get those sleds turned and pointed back in the other direction. They are bundled up in the back and headed for the Air Force flyaway.
Boy, that is a bunch of drivers all hungry to move up. They've just got to be patient through there, but they can't be too patient because as this goes on, Jake Giesman's starting to pull away from him. So it's Giesen, Dowd, still Thielen, Urich, and now Lorenz up to 5th place as he's gotten around Eddie Neubauer.
Into the turn they go, and look at this. Man, the 139 is on a rail out front. A huge wheelie through the rhythm section, and into the ram turn he goes. There's the 2nd place rider. That's Evan Dowd. You see just how far behind him he is as they hit that AMSOIL finish line. A 2.1 second lead for Giesman over Dowd with Mitchell Thielen, Nicholas Lorenz, and Jacob Urich, the top 5 right now in this FXR Sport Final.
Just about identical lap times between Giesman and Dowd, so the lead still 2.1, 2.2 seconds. Trying to look at lap times to see who is fastest out there. Nicholas Lorenz ran a 29.1. That's the fastest lap here recently. However, early on, Giesman ran a 28.4.
You look at it there. There's Giesman on the 139. The 413 is Dowd right behind him. Little style over the AMSOIL finish line with 6 laps to go for Giesman. Now he makes that turn and over the Air Force flyaway as he heads down the backstretch.
You don't want to jinx him, but he's made some pretty good lines through the back part of the racetrack. Here's the battle for 3rd. That is Nicholas Lorenz on the inside.
Oh.
Thielen on the outside out of Coutu Motorsports.
They both wanted that line, Mike. And Thielen had just enough of the edge to claim it, and he continues to be in third as they hit that Amsoil finish line.
Boy, and he roosted Nicholas a couple of times, big time there as they went through that corner. Look at Lorenz on the outside, going to try duck down underneath. Nope, changes his mind. And Thielen still holding on to third place.
You see there's a yellow flag there. That means you check up and get racing again. All the racers do that back up front. No checking up for the 139. Jake Giesman, your fast qualifier, 1-1 at his heats, and we got a crash right here as well, Mike. 2 sleds off right there in that rhythm section.
Yeah, that's a 725 machine of Cameron Anderson. Well, the Anderson boys having a tough time. Cameron had an issue in the qualifying heat, too. Good to see that he's back up. They had to do a lot of rebuilding on that sled to get into this final.
3.5 laps to go for your leader. Giesman over the Amsoil finish line, making it 3 laps to go. Listed from Cadillac, Michigan for Polaris and Green Bay Blizzard Arena football team. And he is bringing the blizzard to the rest of this field right now as Dowd and Lorenz try to continue to reel him in.
Look at this. Dowd sitting in second, Lorenz in third. Thielen is 0.3 out of third place. Meanwhile, Urich about a half second out of fourth place. So there's some moving and shaking going on in this field.
Over the Amsoil finish line. That means 2 laps to go. And Dowd has reeled him in.
He has only 1.8 seconds, so he shaved off almost 1.5 seconds or half the lead that he had. Driver off in the back. I was one of the people that was running up front. We'll keep an eye on that sled.
Where's the pit board for your leader? Somebody needs to tell him he's lost that giant lead as he continues to get closer and closer to the white flag. Into the ram turn. That's Giesman. That's Dowd. That's Lorenz. 1, 2, 3 on your screen. White flag is out. 1 more lap for Jake Giesman here in Chicago. There's second place. Dowd has reeled him in even farther. It's a 1 second lead now. Now it's less than that as they head for the Air Force flyaway. Down the backstretch they come, first and second.
Boy, they are close.
Dowd looks to the inside, Mike. The yellow flag is out on that turn.
Yeah, you've got tough positions. One inside,
it's a drag
one
race.
outside.
The flames in the air. Giesman will win. Evan Dowd in second and Nicholas Lorenz in third. That yellow flag so inopportune for Evan Dowd right there, Mike.
And you know what happened where this yellow flag came from is that there was a driver that had an issue with his sled. Matter of fact, it was the sled of Mitchell Thielen. Thielen stalled and went dead stick. So the flagger had to come out to protect him, and when he threw the flag, somebody checked up, lost the momentum in the corner, and then that sled tipped over in the corner. Well, now you've got him sitting there, and everybody was trying to figure out how to get around him. Meanwhile, Thielen got his sled off the track, and that's what caused the problem. Let's introduce to you now the top 3 finishers here in the FXR Sport 1 final. In third place, out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, racing for Polaris, FXR, SSI Decal, Amsoil and Lorenz Excavating and Topsoil on the 572 Polaris, Nicholas Lorenz. In second place, out of Longville, Minnesota, racing for Team Lavallee Polaris FXR, Precision Woodworks and Polaris on the number 413 Polaris, Evan Dowd. And your winner out of Cadillac, Michigan, racing for Polaris, Green Bay Blizzard Arena Football, Smoothies Speed Shop, and Castle X Racewear. On the 139 Polaris, Jake Giesman.
Let's go down to Chelsea, yeah.
Our top 3 here in the FXR Sport class. In the third spot, Nicholas Lorenz. We've got a lot to talk about here. You started from the back row and you made it on the box. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was definitely a long race, battling back and forth with everybody. Just a long race. It was a good race too. I was catching them and time ran out, but we're on the podium.
Yeah, you're on the podium. It's all those points that matter. Who do you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank Polaris, Tom Jr., Ben, Brad, Bob, Kyle, everybody there from Polaris. Thank you very much. FXR for the gear, SSI decals for making my stud look good. Lorenz X-Way and Topsoil, my dad, Brad. Maximum Service Heating and Cooling, the Getsky family for letting us ride out of their trailer. Scott Adams for letting me stay in this camper. Just On Time Enterprises, everybody there helping me. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations, Nicholas. Great race. Another great race was that battle for the lead right at the very end. Walk us through those last couple laps, Evan.
Oh man, I saw Jake ahead of me, and I was giving it everything I had. I mean, hats off to him. He was ripping the whole time. It's a pleasure to race with all these guys, but yeah, I just had to keep my hands on the bars and just push all the way to the end.
Well, it was great watching you. Who do you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank my mom, my dad, and my whole family, everybody at home who's watching, my girlfriend. I want to thank Team LaValle, Jeff, Scott, Levi, Nick, Glenny, everybody. They're awesome. I want to thank everybody at the Polaris trailer, Junior, Brad, Ben, everybody. Fox Shocks, CNA Pro Skis, FXR, Polaris, Mystic, Loctite, Shoei, Rock Speed FX, CNA, everybody I forgot, Digital Link Design, just everybody. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Evan. Great race. And on top of the box tonight, Jake Eastman, we chatted a little earlier. You've been ripping hole shots all day long. What's your secret?
The Polaris sleds are awesome, really fast, and really reliable through everything. I can't thank them enough. Tom Merger Jr. and Ben Hayes and Bob and Kyle and Brad from the parts trailer. Definitely couldn't do it without them, but also my girlfriend Haley, my mom and dad, my mechanic Austin, and Don. He came down for this. It's awesome to have everybody here. Also got to give a shout out to the Allreed family for letting me stay at their house and practice and get up here on the box.
Well, it sure paid off. Jake, congratulations tonight. Awesome race. I'm sending it back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Chelsea. Nice job, and congratulations again to our top three. What an action-packed race that was. And we're just getting started, Mike. It's
and Zach Patton.
Yeah, what a battle we're about to see here between two of the young studs of this racing. We got Lemieux, we've got Narsa. Both of them won their first heats. Narsa beat Tucker Hibbert in his first heat.
That's a little fun to see how Lincoln Lemieux can do here as they get ready to go. Tucker again in the middle of this starting grid. That is Lemieux, if I'm not mistaken, right next to him. There's the number 51, Royal Distributing, Artie Cat, Matt Pache out of Christian Brothers Racing.
Carly Applin's right by the starting line. Carly, what do you got?
Hey guys, I spent some time in the trailer of Tucker Hibbert earlier today. He said he feels very comfortable with the setup of his sled right now. They changed a little bit with suspension because of the track conditions with the warmer weather earlier today, but just a little bit with that rear suspension. Obviously, he feels very comfortable because he has 10 of 12 wins in the Pro Open class this year, looking for his 11th tonight.
Thank you, Carly. Yes, he is. And this is going to be an action-packed heat race. 8 sleds to the starting line. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That's the T-Train, the 9-time and defending champion, Tucker Hibbert. To his left, that's Lemieux.
Yeah, and that'd be Corey Watkinson, and then Tremblay goes way to the inside. You ever notice Tucker looking around, doesn't miss anything, does he?
Nothing.
No.
And again, he had a similar starting position in his first Pro Open qualifier and got pinched a little bit because he did not get the whole shot. I'm sure right now he's thinking, I want to get out first, get out in front of everybody and not get pinched again.
I see his dad behind him as that truck or that sled went back to the trailer and truck, and after downloading the data, being able to look and see what kind of changes they can make to give them a little bit better hole shot off this starting grid.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest snowcross racers in the world are about to go green at Route 66 Raceway. It's in the starter's hands. Oh.
Everybody was a little antsy there. He was holding
sleds at least.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they throw anybody in the back row. They were real antsy.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That's Lemieux.
Lincoln Lemieux goes to the back row.
I wonder if they aren't taking Pache too. Looked like they were talking to him.
Oh,
and Tremblay.
Pache. So
this won't make Steve Shearing very happy. I can guarantee you that.
almost half the field will go to the very, very back row.
Now remember, they have to line up behind a sled. Everybody was antsy on that. He held them for a long time.
Let's take a look at what happened here. How many people jumped and who went first? Ooh, Tremblay. Very late there.
I
I'm
think
surprised.
Lemieux, his initial lurch forward was maybe the clutch engaging.
Yeah.
But after that, it just it snowballed, and then he went a little more, and then Tremblay went, and then Pache went, and we ended up with 3 drivers in the back row.
That's right. And so that changes everything. We'll get them all set here. I'm glad I'm not the one that has to make that kind of decision. Little Zach Brown band jamming for you here as the Hayes Performance Systems flags fly in the breeze here in Chicago.
The trucker trying to stay warm, loose, as they try to get those sleds lined up in the back row behind someone.
Carly, I know you can hear me. We all blame you.
Yep.
You made him jump.
Oh, she's going, they jumped.
She was, I know. All right. They got him fired up again, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to go green. It's in the starter's hands.
This is ugly looking.
And they're racing in Chicago. Tucker got a great start that time, Mike.
He did.
And down the backstretch they
Who's
go.
with
It's
him,
Narsa
though?
and Tucker. Narsa takes the lead.
And look at Lemieux from the
Oh,
back
there goes
row.
Tucker. And now Narsa takes it back on the outside. Peter Narsa with the stud boy hole shot and the lead over the Amsoil finish line.
And those guys not pulling away from Tremblay or Lincoln Lemieux either. The 2 teammates from Shearing Speed Sports right there. But look at how Narsa tries to protect that inside line.
And Narsa continues to be out front as they hit the Air Force flyaway. The 54 is Peter Narsa. The 68 of Tucker Hibbert takes the outside and the lead. Oh, that was a hard case right there, though.
He just muscled around him. Narsa tried to come back down underneath. Didn't happen, though.
And the battle between Lemieux and Tremblay is raging behind them as well for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, it's only about 0.4 of a second between those 2 guys. But out front, let's see
Narsa
if
tries
Narsa
to
can run
drag
him.
race him. Can he take the lead back?
Boy, that would be huge, from being back a few tenths of a second to a pass.
Oh, my goodness. Did he get it?
Right there. Watch him here now in the corner.
Oh, he lost it on that last whoop right there, and Tucker right back to the front. And inside, I believe Tremblay got around Lemieux. He did for 3rd.
Did.
So we set the field. It's Hibbert, it's Narsa, it's Tremblay, Lemieux, but here comes Lemieux again.
Lemieux
Careful,
trying
guys.
to charge underneath. He's only a 10th or so behind.
Those
2 got a
teammates.
contest. Lemieux goes, I owe you one, buddy. Sorry, I'm getting by you. So now Lemieux back up front, but look at Tremblay.
Wow,
Tremblay
is Tremblay
charging hard
fast?
for 3rd.
That's the hardest section of this racetrack, and there's nobody faster on that section than Tim Tremblay right
He
now.
has been very fast in the back part of the racetrack.
For those of you who haven't seen it, the history is last week we had some incident where Lincoln Lemieux on the 13 was in front, and his teammate Tim Tremblay, who's in front of him right now, got into him, knocked him off his sled at the end of a heat race. They're fine, but they're battling again, and you got to believe Shearing Speed Sport a little nervous in their trailer right now.
Tremblay on the sled, the number 11 with the yellow skis. Lemieux driving the number 13 skidoo with the black skis. Meanwhile, there's your race leader, Tucker Hibbert. Now Hibbert's put some distance between he and Peter Narsa, almost 3 seconds. So, you know, he's starting to pull away. I'll tell you what would have been huge. Narsa was down about 0.4 of a second. If he could have charged back and gotten around Tucker Hibbert, that would have been a big statement.
It certainly would have, but look at him. Tucker Hibbert, you give him time, he dials in the racetrack. He figures out the fast way around, he figures out the slow way around. He gets in the lead and he runs away. It's a 4.5 second lead for Tucker Hibbert here in Chicago.
That battle between Narsa and Tremblay starting to develop, though.
Man, Tremblay is fast tonight.
Look at Tremblay. Tremblay right behind Narsa.
There's Narsa. There's Tremblay again through that rhythm section, and nobody got the rhythm like he does. He's Janet Jackson out there tonight. It's Rhythm Nation.
And the thing is that Narsa, both when Tremblay or Hibbert got by him and now Tremblay, has not been able to counter back down underneath. He's always wanted to stay to the outside of the racetrack. I don't know if he just doesn't feel comfortable on the inside of 3 and 4 or whatever.
So it's Hibbert, Tremblay, Narsa, Lemieux, and Watkinson, your top 5 right now. Zach Patton, Matt Pichet, and Andy Leaders rounding out the field. Leaders did not take the start. There's Hibbert getting around the 51 of Pichet. 4 laps to go here in the first heat of round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open.
Good racing. That's the 51 of Matt Pichet racing for Christian Brothers, but back up front.
Look at him. The very far outside of the rhythm section. Very fast for Tucker.
Look at Tremblay. Tremblay trying to get around the number 51. That'd be a lapper. That is Matt Pichet. Oh, and a sled off on the backside. Is that Lemieux? It is.
Yeah, that's Lincoln Lemieux completely off the track and off his sled after a dominant first heat. And there's Tucker Hibbert. He just went by the Lincoln Lemieux sled we were talking about. You mentioned something a couple of moments ago when they were on the starting line, Mike, that I can't keep my eyes off of now. Watching where Tucker is looking on the racetrack as he makes his way around the racetrack, his eyes are so far out in front of where he's at right now. He's anticipating where he's going to be 50 seconds from where he's at.
You know, he's looking where he's at right now from the middle of the racetrack there. He's already got his line picked and knows mentally where he needs to put his marks. Takes a peek over his shoulder. He wants to keep abreast of where Tremblay is at. Tremblay trying to make up some ground, and Tremblay looks over his shoulder to see who's in third place. He doesn't know that Lincoln Lemieux had a problem, so trying to figure that one out.
Less than half a lap to go for the T-Train here in Chicago. He's on the rhythm section.
Just skates across them, so smooth.
Into the Ram turn on the Ram sled. And headed for the AMSOIL finish line, the checkers in the air. The T-Train has done it in Chicago with a win, and he won round 2 of the AMSOIL Pro Open class. Tremblay comes across in second. Out of the turn comes Peter Narsa. He'll come across in third. Here comes, I believe that's going to be Corey Watkinson.
Watkinson in fourth, and it'll be Pat and Lincoln Lemieux and Pichet.
And they're racing! Ross Martin with a great start, and he'll get that stud boy hole shot.
He sure did. He pulled away. Goes to the outside.
Look at
there's Corin Todd right behind him.
You see Kyle Pauline right there, the 311 of Renheim. This is going to get serious real quick, except for Ross Martin, who is running away.
It was interesting to see Martin come into that corner, just squared it, and then railed it around and took it across the AMSOIL finish line.
Oh!
Look at his back here all bunched up.
Look at Springer and Corin Todd rubbing elbows out of that turn.
Adam Renheim trying to find a way through there too. Here comes Martin again. Watch this. He'll go up high, square, rail, and here he goes.
Look at that battle for second. Corin Todd with a bonsai move into that turn. He took the spot. Look at this race between Ryan Springer and Corin Todd. Springer looks to the inside. He takes the spot back. The rookie back into second spot. But here comes Todd again.
Both drivers on Polaris's got a pretty good battle going here. Oh, Corin kind of skating across the top of those jumps.
Springer had a really bad first heat, a crash in the very first turn, but here he's very fast and sitting in third in the second heat of round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open. Corin Todd puts a little distance between himself and the third place racer, and now he sets his sights on Ross Martin.
Martin out in front. Look at the interval as they come by here to complete another lap in just a couple of moments. There's Martin, goes into this corner, as we said, squares. Likes to take a straight shot at that AMSOIL finish line. Here's the differential, 2.5 seconds between those two drivers. Springer in third, then it would be Pauline, Renheim, Stenberg, Carlson, and Jake Scott.
I'd love to find out what the racers think of that turn right there. It is so difficult to get that sled pointed back in the right direction. Stenberg had an issue with it right there.
Well, one thing you'll see is that they're all taking a lot of the same line. They're trying to build up that berm so they got something to run around. There's your race leader.
7 laps to go, Mike.
Martin, 3.6 seconds.
It's Martin, Todd, and Springer, then Kyle Pauline and Adam Renheim.
It has been a period of time since we've seen Ross Martin win a race.
You know, it really has. You are right. And right now he is out front and loving it. And there's the battle for third. Kyle Pauline, the 324, that white sled, trying to get around the 541 of Ryan Springer. Looks to the inside. He'll take the spot there. Can he hang on to it, Mike?
He did. He had to brake check to make the move, but Springer had to go outside. And that gave Pauline an opportunity to truck down underneath.
And Senior Smiley loves the big air, doesn't he? Kyle Pauline into third. So now it's Martin, Todd, and Kyle Pauline, 1, 2, 3.
This time by, it'll be 5 laps. Left to go.
Martin over the AMSOIL finish line.
He is looking good. The unfortunate thing is he may have a win here, but I think he's going to have to go through the LCQ.
It might be enough. Again, you're right. We're going to have to figure it out.
8-1 would be 9 points. That would be close, especially when they're only pulling 9.
That's a good point. Right now, though, a big confidence boost for Ross Martin and that team because he is way out front. Almost 5 seconds right now for Ross Martin, as now the battle begins for fourth between Springer and Renheim.
Ooh, Corn Todd took a big chunk out of it. Now only about 2.5 seconds.
There's Springer. There's the 311. That Jimmy John sled of Adam Renheim with 4 laps to go. Inside comes Renheim. Can't make the move there out of the FXR turn.
It's like Renheim's been just chasing this track all night long. Not been able to really find a good setup to make his way around here. Tough break. He's trying to make a move on Ryan Springer. Move up into 4th place.
3 laps to go over the AMSOIL finish line. It's Martin, Todd, Pauline, Springer, Renheim, then Carlson, Stenberg, and Scott. That battle continues to rage right there for 4th. Every point counts. Renheim to the inside, Springer on the outside, carries the momentum. They drag race over the Air Force flyaway. Renheim will take the spot there. Can he hang on to it? Oof.
Got around him.
Springer takes it back. Renheim wants it. Can't get it there over the Air Force over the AMSOIL finish line with 2 laps to go.
And he just, you know, when he goes over that AMSOIL finish line, he just can't set up for position down in the corner. Carrying a lot of speed down there, but it's just like he can't find the line he needs to try to make a move.
Again, that is the 541 of Springer. Renheim behind him, and you're going to see Andrew Carlson part of this in a minute as well, as Renheim again looks to the inside. 1 lap to go in this heat number 2 of round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open, and there he is, the 837 of Ross Martin out of Burlington, Wisconsin.
Boy, he's been running well here.
Out
nice
of the ramp
win.
turn, checkers in the air, and Ross Martin has done it in Chicago. He will win Heat 2, round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open.
That's got to make him feel good. Corn Todd coming across in second. Look at these guys still battling. Nope, Renheim just can't get around him. So Todd in second. Kyle Pauline will end up in third. Springer in 4th. Then Renheim, Carlson, Stenberg, and Jake Scott.
So that will set the front row for AMSOIL Pro Open final later tonight.
Still is a little sore, but able to come back. Going to try to get through the LCQ here. Tyler Adams, another one of the Christian Brothers Racing, Artie Katz, Jacob Blanchan, and Nick Patton. 5 of these move on to the final. The rest of them are done until tomorrow. 7-lap LCQ.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sleds on the starting line, right? 5 sleds take the green, 5 will make the final, but this will set the order.
A couple of sleds not making the call. We'll set them up. That's Anderson out there.
Yeah, Corbin Anderson. I see Shane Sewell right there. Travis Muller as well. Out of the turn, headed for the Amsoil finish line. We'll set the order. Muller, Anderson, Sewell, Blanchin, and Turchanik.
So Tyler Adams not taking the start. And I remember them talking to us earlier. Nick Patton was banged up earlier today.
That's right.
So Nick being checked over to make sure that he's going to be all right. Tough break for the Patton family.
So your leader again, Travis Muller out front. Whoa, hang on to it. The 17 of Anderson, a little squirrely through the rhythm section there. 5 laps to go as they hit that Amsoil finish line. Muller and Anderson. Again, all 5 of these sleds will make the final, but your winner will get first choice of where he starts on the starting line. In the back row.
In the back row.
Yeah, because he'd choose to be way out front.
Yes,
I guess
he would.
you're correct. I need to make that evident. Through the rhythm section again. He'll come around over that Amsoil finish line. And now 4 laps to go in the LCQ for Travis Muller. Great camera shot from just above us here in the announcer's booth. As you see your leader fighting his way out of the corner. Muller, Anderson, Sewell, then Blanchin and Turchanik. That's your running order right now. Again, headed for the Amsoil finish line. That'll be 3 laps to go. Travis Muller out of Windham, Minnesota. For Hayford Ford, Polaris. FXR, Schweeters, Fox, Shocks, and Amsoil. Very smooth through the section.
I think these guys all know they're going to make it. I mean, they're pushing it, but you know, as you see them get spread out here a little bit, just happy to. It's not a points race. I mean, a draw in the back row. How much is that going to change the way that you finish in the finals? So, just clicking off the laps here, and we'll set the order.
2 laps to go, lap and a half actually now, as he makes his way down the backstretch for the 436, Travis Muller. Into the ram turn, white flag in the air. 1 lap to go in the Pro Light LCQ. After this race, we'll have the Pro-Am Women Final.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
15 sleds about to take the green for all the marbles.
And the way we've seen these people compete here the past few rounds, I can hardly wait for this final to get ready.
Into the ram turn for the final time. And headed for the Amsoil finish line, checkers in the air. Travis Muller will win the Pro Light LCQ. Followed by Corbin Anderson. Shane Sewell.
He'll be the number 13 qualifier.
Jacob Blanchin. And then Steven Turchanik. And that'll complete the field for the Pro Light Final in just a bit. Round 13 of Amsoil Championship Snowcross powered by Ram Pro-Am Women Final here at Route 66 Raceway.
Boy, and look at the way they line up here. These top 3 drivers have been doing battle in the points for the last 3-4 rounds. Marika Renheim, Oman, Brodeur. Then you got Dutzman, Martel, Farmer, Hasneck, Markey Farmer, the number 8 qualifier, Miranda Schmidt, and Jordan Schultz. That's a great front line. Back row, Tasha Lang, Cora Hauger, Ashley Erickson, Megan Campbell making the final. Good to see her out here this year again. Megan has had a number of injuries and just really doing well this year. Sasha Brandt, your number 15 qualifier. And the ladies are on the back part of the racetrack right now.
Elena Ullman?
Hold a second. Look it up. See how the cats are doing, will you?
I just want to call her fast because she is.
Well, all of these girls are.
Clarification in the booth. Oh, I love this jam. It's March.
Yeah. All right.
What do we got?
Correction.
Alina, right? E. I can't read your writing, man.
Elena, like you said.
Elena.
Right, Mickey?
Elena Ullman, the 170. Then Megan Brodeur, Amanda Dutzman, Jennifer Martell, 15 sleds. About to go green. It's in the starter's hands.
10 laps. This should be a great final.
And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go.
All three of them are bunched up right there.
Who are we going to give the stud boy hole shot to?
I would say it's Ullman.
Elena Ullman with the stud boy hole shot in the lead at the moment here in Chicago.
Renheim right behind her, and then Brodeur sitting in third.
They bump coming out of the turn. Over the Amsoil finish line, it's Ullman, Renheim, Brodeur, Hassanek, and Dutzman. Your top five.
Jackie Farmer in six. Hauger.
Into the lead goes Renheim.
She got around her. Found that line. Didn't take her long. You knew she was going to push it. The last couple of rounds, she's had to work her way back through the field to try to get up front and just hasn't been able to get around Ullman. This time she got around her.
Now for the next 8 laps and change, can you be smooth around this racetrack and hold on for the win? Let's set the field of these 15 sleds in the Pro-Am Women Final.
Renheim out front, Ullman in second, Brodeur in third, Hasnick in fourth, then it's Dutzman, Farmer, Hauger, and Schmidt. Those are your top 8.
That Jimmy John sled is freaky fast, and it's out front, and it's Marika Renheim. Through the Air Force flyaway, very smooth through the most difficult part of the racetrack.
She's really looking out in front, trying to find her lines and her spots, making good time through the back part of the racetrack. Over the Amsoil finish line, there you see her, and
this is the battle for fifth right there.
Fifth, yes.
Jackie Farmer and Amanda Dutzman right there. The 547 is Dutzman, Jackie Farmer on the 405. Over the Amsoil finish line, 7 laps to go for the Pro-Am Women Final.
Now you watch your leader. It isn't going to be long before she is going to be in lap traffic. Coming around turns 3 and 4 right now. You see the yellow or the white, I'm sorry, the blue flag waving already. Look at her slice and dice. She got around 3 lappers in the blink of an eye.
She is on a mission in the Pro-Am Women Final here. And we have got 5.5 laps to go and a 4.5 second lead for Marika Renheim over Elena Ullman and Megan Brodeur. Look at the heavy traffic though right now.
Now she's got a lot of traffic in front of her, and the bad part is it's going to be in the corner here. Marika goes outside, gets around 2. Well, that didn't take long. I don't think it's really been bothering her much.
I think you're right. She has got it dialed in this afternoon.
Ullman about 3.5 seconds plus behind.
Shot. All those sleds working that section of the racetrack. There's your leader on the inside of your screen.
Ooh, driver just about coming off alongside your race leader, able to gather it back up.
Your leader into the ram turn right now. And now she's headed for the Amsoil finish line.
And now she's got some distance between her and the rest of the drivers.
4 laps to go for Renheim, then Ullman. Here comes Brodeur over the Amsoil finish line momentarily. She's right now in third. But there's that 311 sled out of Lima, Sweden for Jimmy Johns and Lucas Oil.
A little surprised Megan Brodeur has slid back as far as she has. She's about 12 seconds out of second. But boy, Marika just on autopilot.
3 laps to go for the lady that is dominating this class tonight. And you said it, Mike. It's not just that she's been fast, but the way she's dealing with the lap traffic has been impressive.
She's got some lappers ahead of her again. She'll need to get by. She can be very careful here. She's got 6+ seconds between her and second place. Elena Oman.
All the number 4s she can handle every time she wins for Marika Renheim on that Jimmy John sled. I'm just guessing. Over the Amsoil finish line, 2 laps to go. Here comes Elena Oman. That's your second place rider on the 170.
All right, so she made up a second, but
she did.
You have to remember that Marika was in lap traffic, probably held her up a little bit.
Great shot into the FXR turn.
Oman working her way through the back part of the racetrack. There's your race leader,
Lap
Jackie Farmer. Another lapper to get by.
And Jackie's 5th place. So Marika has lapped all the way up to 4th place now, Mike.
Wow.
Over the Amsoil finish line, the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Marika Renheim.
Shaved off about another 0.6 of a second. So running out of laps, but she's been starting to eat into her lead a little bit, but it's going to be too little too late as you see your race leader work her way through the back part of the racetrack one more time.
Into the ram turn for the final time. Out of the turn and headed for the flames. The checkers in the air in Chicago. Marika Renheim has won the Pro-Am Women Final. Elena Oman will come across in second. And the 3rd place rider still on the backstretch. Out of the corner. And holding on for the 3rd and final spot on the podium will be Megan Brodeur. Riley Hasenack in 4th, Jackie Farmer 5th, Amanda Dutzman 6th, Miranda Schmidt in 7th, Marky Farmer in 8th, Cora Hauger 9th, and Ashley Erickson in 10th. Coming across in 3rd, out of Cook, Quebec for Anderson Racing, Fly Racing, Skidoo, BRP, Walls Unlimited, and Fly Racing. The number 31, Megan Brodeur. Makes her way over the wall. Here she comes, Megan Brodeur in 3rd place in the Pro-Am Women class. Thank you. Congratulations, Megan. Coming across in 2nd for Mystic Lubricants, FXR, Wicked Audio, CNA Pro Skis, Woody's, and Traction Arians Company. The 170, Elena Oman. Congratulations, Elena. And your winner out of Lima, Sweden for Jimmy John's, Lucas Oil, Eliab, and Lima Skotsvinking. On a Skidoo to number 311, Marika Renheim. And let's send it down to Chelsea with our top 3. Chelsea.
Thank you, Chris. This is our top 3 here in our Pro-Am Women class in the 3rd spot. Megan, tell us a little bit about the track. It was kind of a rough day today.
Yeah, the track is different from the others, and I think it's more difficult. A lot of jumps, timing. I would like to thank my team, Anderson Racing, Walls Unlimited, all my friends, my family in Quebec, Scott Boy, Scott Goggles, Fly, CNA Pro Skis, 139 Designs, Star Suspension, everyone that I forgot, thanks.
Congratulations, Megan. In 2nd spot, Elena Oman. Now, Elena, there was a lot of lap traffic. How did that play a factor into racing today?
It was pretty good this time, but it's hard when they are like all over the place.
And who do you want to thank for your 2nd spot today?
Team Southside, Dave's Racing, my mechanic Rob Mason, Polaris, Mystic, FXR, CNA Pro Skis, Foxshot, Woody's, my family, my boyfriend, and everyone else. Thank you.
Congratulations, Elena. And on top of the box tonight, Marika Renheim, Now, Alina and Megan have been giving you a run for your money this season. How ready were you to be back on top of the box?
Oh, sure they have, but yeah, today I was so ready to get back. It's been 2 rough races, so it feels really good today. But the track has been really challenging, but it was really smooth this final, and everything worked perfect, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, you looked really good out there. Who do you want to thank tonight?
A big thanks to Boss Racing Team, Skidoo, Jimmy Johns, Fly Racing, Aline Shocks, and to my family and boyfriend and his family that's here today, and all my Swedish sponsors, and my mom and dad that's back at home watching, and just everyone else, a big thanks.
Congratulations, Marika, great win today. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the box.
Thank you, Chelsea. Congratulations again, our top 3. And hello to everybody back in Sweden watching. Appreciate you tuning in all over the world and attending here at the racetrack. And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go. Stenberg with the hole shot. The stud boy hole shot goes to John Stenberg. The 42, Jake Scott, right to his outside. Out of the corner. Over the AMSOIL finish line, 5 laps to go in the Pro Open LCQ, Mike.
Nice line for Stenberg. Jake Scott pushing hard. Got to remember, Jake Scott racing for Christian Brothers Racing on the Doc Artie Cat. It's a big change, you know. He's been on Artie Cat all year long, but there still is a period where, you know, you get used to your team members and stuff like that.
A little bit of a yeehaw moment for your leader there, and he loses the lead.
Andrew Carlson.
But he takes it right back as they drag race through the triples, and you know what? Carlson does the trips, and he takes the lead for good. 4 laps to go.
Boy, look out. See, you talk about being flat, how he went out. You really got to put some body English in that thing to get it to turn.
Which might have something to do with just how fast Tim Tremblay's been tonight. Somebody big and strong with the upper body like that's going to be able to turn a little bit.
That's exactly what we talked about. He is so big and so strong. Tall, it's almost like being in leverage on the sled.
That's the battle for the bubble. And the 857 is Andy Leaders. He got around Matt Pichet, and now he is in the final if it were to finish like that.
Next time by, it'll be 2 laps left to go.
And again, the 857 is Andy Leaders. Andy out of Wausau, Wisconsin, for Rural Transport and Champion Spark Plugs. The 51 of Pichet not giving it up, though.
Springer just ran into the back of Zach Patton's sled big time. I wouldn't be a bit surprised that there's damage to one or if not both of those sleds.
Out of the corner, the FXR turn. Again, that is your bubble. And Andy Leaders has it in hand at the moment. White flag out for your leader. And that continues to be Andrew Carlson. Jake Scott in second, Stenberg, Patton, Springer, and Leaders is 6th with Pichet, the man on the outside looking in. Exciting racing here in the LCQ of AMSOIL Pro Open to set the field. Out of the turn for the final time, checkers in the air for Andrew Carlson.
That's big for him. I mean, to get in to the final through the LCQ. Jake Scott, same thing there. It's nice to have Jake in, Stenberg, Ryan Springer. Patton did finish. Leaders will be the last sled in, and Matt Pichet does not make the final. So Carlson's got a decision to make now. Do I go to the front row and take the last choice, or do I take first choice in the back row?